It's time for Media Meltdowns, and I think Joy Reid might have a crush on Donald Trump because her obsession with him is getting a little weird.
He's not handsome. He's not suave. He's not brave.
She sounds like a schoolgirl who's upset that the popular guy doesn't like her back, lashing out at his appearance and claiming that he's not brave, which is a bizarre criticism, especially of someone who's taken a bullet for America. But I think Joy Reid may be suffering from not just TDS, but some anger management issues masked with her weird obsession with Donald Trump, because her deranged rant continues and gets even more personal, taking aim at his marriage.
His marriage is a fraud. Melania clearly won't even touch him. The last time she let him touch her, they had Barron. Clear that he ain't touching her now. He doesn't believe in marriage. He doesn't have morality.
Doesn't believe in marriage. I'm sorry, Joy Reid. I think someone might be a little bit jealous of Melania, and we can't all be as exquisite as the First Lady. But what would a Joy rant be without making it about race? Let's take a look at this.
He's a up, but he's able to be a success because white America keeps saying, no, 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 that guy is what success looks like.
There it is again, Joy Reid, the multimillionaire, blaming people with white skin for the president's success. And the sacked MSNBC host's anti-white, anti-Donald Trump rant went on for more than 4 minutes during her live stream of a Welcome to Joy's House on Substack. And it gets crazier.
Donald Trump is the physical embodiment of all of America's sins.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Right? He's sloppy. He's unkempt. Everything about him is false. His hair is a pretense of non-baldness. He's old, but his followers try to pretend that he looks like Superman. He's a terrible businessman and a failure who gets to fake success because he's white, so banks keep lending him money.
Joining us now is spokeswoman at American Values PAC, Caitlin Sinclair. Caitlin, it is great to see you again. I have to get your reaction to Joy Reid's unhinged rant about Donald Trump. There have been so many of them, but I think this one takes the cake.
Not only was this unhinged, I think it was just, quite frankly, bizarre. And my first reaction or message to Joy Reid is, well, Joy, guess who still has a job and you don't? Donald Trump is still the president of the United States last time I checked. And I'm pretty sure the message from her company and Americans and the viewers that were not watching was nobody wants your opinion. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares. And quite frankly, what I think we're seeing right now is in this country is a sort of cultural shift. I think Americans are done here with hearing boy or woman who cries racism. That's exactly what Joy Reid and her party continue to do. And I don't think the American people care to stand for it. She targeted his looks, his marriage, called Donald Trump a bad businessman. She called Donald Trump, or tried to claim that Donald Trump isn't brave. As you alluded to, this is a man that took a bullet for this country. This is a man that has put his life and everything on the line to fight for the American people, to restore small businesses, to bring back the economy, create jobs. A job that he does not need to be doing for a second time. So quite frankly, there's no merit to her statements, but there's not a lot of merit to a lot of these rants. So it was nonsense. I think American people see right through it.
100%. She called him a failure, which is interesting because Donald Trump's approval rating is up following his summit with Putin. Now, this survey conducted by Insider Advantage found that 54% of respondents approve of Donald Trump. Caitlin, what do you put this down to?
I think what we just discussed, I think Donald Trump has brought back the economy. He's continuing to put money into the pockets of Americans. He's strangling the hands of the small business owners who had their hands tied for so long under the previous administration. And the other thing is he is perfectly sitting at that intersection of politics, of pop culture. He's dominating the airwaves with talking about what's going on, not just in politics, but in life in general. And he's restoring faith to the younger generations, to my generation, the generation coming up behind me, which is Gen Zers. He is giving us that four-letter word, hope and faith in the American dream once again. And I think that's what the polls are showing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Caitlin, can you bring us up to speed on the Maha movement? Because RFK Jr. has revealed, or he's claimed, that there's this attempt to drive a wedge between him and Donald Trump. What more can you tell us about this?
What I can tell you is this is no surprise coming from the establishment, right? Coming from the media. RFK Jr. is doing something that should not be divisive. He's trying to make America healthy again. So, what's happening? The establishment is panicking. And you know what that means? It means that we're actually winning. So, RFK Jr., he's not running for president. That's not the only reason that he's in this administration right now. His only mission, I can tell you, the only thing he's running for is to end the chronic disease epidemic in this country, restore health to the American people, and he's 100% loyal to that mission. So we need to ignore the noise. We need to focus on that goal. And this is all just exactly what I said. It's noise, it's the media, it's the establishment being scared because of all of the winds and the waves that we're currently making.
Now, former FBI Director James Comey has been bragging about being a Swiftie. In a bizarre video, he repeated Taylor Swift's advice to treat personal energy like a luxury item. Look at this.
While our elderly makeup-covered president is posting about whether Taylor Swift is still hot and declaring that he can't stand her, what's she doing? Not giving the jerks power over her mind. She said something about dealing with internet trolls that stuck with me. Think of your energy as if it's expensive, she said, as if it's like a luxury item.
Yeah, so he's still talking about standing up to bullies and taking aim at Donald Trump there. This is the same person who uploaded a photo to Instagram in a post with arranged seashells on the beach to read 8647, and of course then claimed that he didn't know that it would be seen as promoting violence towards the president. I mean, listening to that rant just there, it's a bit unbelievable that this was the previous FBI director.
Unbelievable and absolutely absurd to me for a grown man to make a 5-minute video talking about how much he adores, someone that little girls are fans of. He's fangirling over Taylor Swift. You know, the FBI was once feared by gangsters and criminals, as your viewers are aware, and now its former director is a Swiftie quoting lyrics to explain away his failures, I'll just say. So, you know what? I can only imagine the conversations that were taking place between Comey, his handlers, and whatever disastrous PR team that's going on behind the scenes, because somehow they were questioning what they should do next after that seashell image you just pulled up. And this was the answer. This was the answer. It's truly an amazing timeline we're all living in.
Absolutely. Now, Gavin Newsom, he's got his eyes on being the next president of the United States, and he's had a meltdown after receiving a Trump 2028 hat. He's seriously triggered, and let's just take a look at how he reacts.
I said in a moment ago, wake up, America, wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. You will have a president who will be running for a third term. Mark my word. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that I received in the mail a Trump 2028 hat from one of his biggest supporters. These guys are not screwing around. The rules do not apply to them.
I actually enjoy how triggered he is and how seriously he has taken the Trump 2028 hat. He cannot take a joke. He's obsessed with being the next president, but he can't even run California properly. I mean, the unemployment rate in California is the worst in the United States. Caitlin, what do you make of this?
Well, I think we send Gavin Newsom a Trump 2032 hat just to get things really going. One thing that's very consistent with the far left is they have zero sense of humor and they cannot recognize when they're being trolled. This has happened time and time again. Donald Trump is the ultimate troller. That's exactly what that hat that he allegedly received was. It was trolling. But Gavin Newsom warning us that Donald Trump is overstepping power, that's just peak comedy to me, and I'm sure to all your viewers as well. This guy does not even know how to keep the lights on in his own state, can't stop people from fleeing the state that he runs, and he runs his state of California like it's Sin City. So he's pretending to be the guardian of democracy all of a sudden. Again, I don't know who this is fooling. He's fantasizing about his own presidential run quietly behind the scenes, but we all know that's what's going on. So my advice would be, I don't know, fix your own backyard before you're lecturing everyone, Governor Hairgel over there.
Now, finally, I want to talk to you about Zaran Mandani. He now has an 82% chance of becoming the next mayor of New York City. It is an all-time high, according to Polymarket. That is absolutely terrifying. And Mayor Eric Adams has kind of rebuked Zaran Mandani's long-standing push to decriminalise prostitution. Take a look at this.
Number one, as a man who said he's of faith, I don't quite understand what religion supports prostitution. And I think he's lost on the fact that sex trafficking is very much part of prostitution. And you're not doing any service to a woman who's on the street being forced to sell her body for whatever reason.
Caitlin, we know Zaran Mandani's track record. We know that he's previously called to defund the police. And what are your thoughts, obviously, on him and what's going to happen to New York City if he gets in?
You know, the first quote that comes to mind when I heard this new policy was what the great Victor David Hanson once said, and that is the left advocates insane, destructive policies because they are so often shielded from the consequences of their own beliefs. And that's exactly what we see for all of the policies that he's laid out for this prostitution policy, for the defunding of the police. This is the same guy who supports rent freezes. So landlords can basically eat dirt while we let lazy people use their buildings. This is the same man that supports free transportation, free buses, $30 an hour minimum wage by 2030. So we can kiss all our small businesses goodbye. He doesn't care. The same man that wants to turn all of open spaces in this city into subways or shelters for the homeless. If all of these policies happen, if this man is actually elected, we will never recognize New York City again. Crime, homelessness, empty stores and shelves, filth, the smell of marijuana. I mean, the list goes on and on. It is a very, very scary election that we're facing as New Yorkers, and these policies are absolutely disturbing.
Caitlin Sinclair, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour. It's great to speak with you again.
Thanks for having me. Talk soon.